Yep. We're no attendees. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Hey.
Looks like you kind of have an empty room there.
Yeah, slightly. We have one attendee.
Oh, Lamont is there.
Yes.
Hello, Lamont.
Hello. There. Much better. Hello. Yeah, I did, yeah. You go check on the.
You want to be a panelist, Ethan?
I think I'll just,
Or you an attendee?
I think, can't they hear me through the, yeah, I'll just be a attendee.
Pretty sure I clicked on come up, but it didn't move me. Okay. Good talk.
Got the microphone right there.
So it's just extras. Yeah. Lamont, would you like a hard copy? The draft on the. I don't see that, so. Okay. Yes. Oh. Yeah, I'll show that one. You want me to log in?
I don't think So, unless you have something you need.
Nope.
This.
Would you try to speak Clinton?
Possible.
Possibly. Okay. I guess I'll find out.
Oh, yeah. Just say them first. Whoops. Well, we're glad we've got you here.
I made it.
There we go.
Sorry for my delay. I was not getting logged in.
So we're missing Georgia and Teresa.
Okay. So we'll hold on a minute.
I heard from Georgia earlier today and she said she was planning to come.
Okay. Yeah. So we need one more for.
Sorry, I misspoke. That was Teresa. I spoke with Teresa earlier and she said she was going to attend.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you.
This one. Or I just seen it, I should say.
So who's handling the online today?
Christy.
Okay.
I can call Georgia to see where she is.
You know, yeah, we might want to check. You know, it took me a second to get logged in. I'm not sure what was going on. Maybe she's having a similar problem.
Should I send this stuff then?
Please.
Hey, Georgia. Were you gonna log?
See, Bill, I just sent the application list out.
Oh, okay, so don't do it. No, it's good.
I think we got it.
I see it.
I see, Georgia. Okay. With that, I think we'll try to get us going. So do we have a volunteer for an opening prayer? I'd like to stick with that.
I can do that for you.
Thank you.
Sure, let's pray. Dear Lord, we just want to thank you for this day and for the continued blessings that you have given each of us. We also ask for wisdom this afternoon, that we approach our agenda with wisdom and make good choices and decisions for the people we serve. In your name we pray. Amen.
All right. Thank you, Georgia. So with that, we'll do attendance.
Just a moment. Roger Noble,
Present.
Roger. Kenneth Pitt,
Ken, you're muted also.
Um, Kenneth Pitt.
Here.
You're mute.
There we go.
Georgia Sneeze.
Here,
Clayton Matt.
Here,
Teresa Wall McDonald. And
Apparently
Amy
not here.
Kaufman. Oh, Amy Kaufman.
I am present.
okay, thanks, Amy. Thanks to the board members and to the staff. If Teresa logs on, we'll continue with her as well. So thank you board members, thank you to staff and all those who are present online watching. Today is the September 15th meeting of the Flathead Reservation Water Management Board. And we're meeting in Zoom today. Just a reminder, as always, that the meeting minutes are all recorded and on the DNRC and CSKT websites for those of you who would like to see them. So as we prepare to adopt today's agenda, there was at least a question if we want to talk it through. We can always change the order of the agenda temporarily today if we need to, but there was some question about the order of the agenda. So I think Roger or Ken or Pela.
It was me. I do not think we need to change the order of the agenda today. But it was a more general question in that the board had discussed and decided, as we are a public service outfit, that it would be in a public interest to do the domestic allowance approvals at the beginning because everybody's time is valuable. And I noted at the last meeting they had been moved to the end, and I just thought we should discuss that.
Okay, and I touched on that a bit with Pela. So Pela, did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I could use some more direction from the board on this. The last two meetings, I moved other agenda items higher up on the agenda. And that was because we've not had applicants in attendance waiting for the results of the domestic allowance authorizations for some time. But we did have consultants on the agenda. And so I moved them to the top out of respect for their time and also to reduce costs for the board, just so that the board doesn't have to pay for them to be in the entire meeting. And then the water engineer action items, I moved up higher, thinking that the board's actions on that might be relevant to other items on the agenda. And these types of things will probably come up in the future. So I would appreciate the board's guidance in the draft agenda. As you said, you can change it however you would like before the meeting.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think that's, Pela makes a good point. We want to keep our consultants fees down. However, I do think, to the extent practical, without running up costs with consultants, that we keep the domestic use authorization as high as possible on the agenda.
Yeah, I think it's a good balance. So appreciate the thought there, Pela. So any other board members have a question or thought on that? Roger, Georgia, Teresa, I see Teresa's on now. So welcome, Teresa.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the concern for budgeting and being as efficient as possible. So I support the thoughts offered by Pela and Ken that when the agenda topics necessitate those adjustments, that staff be authorized to make those.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, sure.
Okay, Roger,
Yeah, no, I'm good with that.
Georgia.
that's fine. I agree.
Okay, I agree. So we're good. Thank you, Pela. So with that, unless there are any changes to the agenda today, I need a motion to adopt the agenda if you're ready.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Ken,
Second.
second by Roger. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
I
Any opposed? None. Adopted agenda. Okay, public comment for items not on the agenda. I don't know how many we have in the public online today, but anybody out there who has a comment, we've set some time for some initial comments. We'll have more comments later. So Christy, if you're handling the online, and if anybody out there has a comment, if now would be the time for them to raise their hand so we can hear them.
Nobody has commented online. There are 3 participants, or 2 actually. One is Ethan.
No, did I hear you right? No other public on the line?
No, no other public comment online.
All right, we'll move on. Board business, water engineer position update. So Roger and Ken, I will open this up, and if you have comments, we can do that. So after the last meeting, we were authorized to continue discussions with the candidate. And at this point, I think I sent an email to everyone that we had communicated with the candidate, which we will announce is now announced as Ethan Mace, to offer the position. And based on that email in our previous discussions, Ethan has accepted. So we're talking about a position with a 1-year probation, which will include during that time insurance and leave. We have an amount of pay with any potential increases, acknowledging that any potential increases will be based on whatever future pay plan the board adopts. To pay for personal COBRA during this time until we have further benefits are adopted. Leave and PTO would be federal holidays and PTO, including personal, medical, and family, as would be expected. And with the understanding that leave accrual will be defined according to some future policy that the board adopts. With those things, Ethan has accepted. So Ken, Roger, anything to add? And otherwise, we'll make a recommendation to the board. Ken, Roger?
I would just say that Ethan's going to be an invaluable member of this board. And if the board approves, I sincerely welcome him.
Yeah. You're on mute there, Roger. Sorry.
Sorry about that. So yeah, I think you summarized the offer well. Just want to extend our welcome to Ethan, and we look forward to working with him.
All right. So Ethan, the board makes the committee recommends to the board that we move to accept Ethan as the engineer in the engineer position, as we have discussed. So do I have a motion?
So it sounded like you made a motion, Clayton, so I'll just second that.
Chairs don't usually make the motion. I was just announcing this. So
all right, I'll make the motion that we
motion by Roger,
Second.
second by Ken. So let's go through. Roger,
yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Georgia,
Yes.
Teresa.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Welcome and congratulations, Ethan.
Yay.
Now the work begins.
So
All right.
I guess
Very
one
good. So Ethan, I won't put you on the spot. I'll ask the question. If you have a date to give us today, fine. If not, I'd like to very soon get a proposed start date for you. So if you don't want to give us that at this moment, then maybe in the next day or so, you could give us an email.
Certainly, I'll email the board members a good start date and get that. I want to make sure everything's solid and firmed up. So I'll work through this transition and get back to you probably later this afternoon.
Okay, that would be helpful. Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman, are we, the board planning to do a press release on this?
I don't know. You're on the board. Are you going to make a motion to do a press release?
I'll make a motion to do a press release.
Okay. We need somebody to do that. So if you maybe want to work with maybe Melissa to help out with that press release.
I think we need a second.
Second, I'll second that.
Second by Teresa. Motion to do a press release. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. So as usual, I'm ahead of the game. Public comment. There's no public online yet, is there?
No, not there. We have two, but they haven't raised their hands for comment.
Okay, if is there any comment by any member, offer any comment by any members of the public on the board action?
No public comment.
No public comment at this time. All right, appreciate it. All right, thank you, board members. Thank you, Ethan. And we will move on and look forward to seeing you in person here again real soon. You know, this had to be a Zoom meeting today, but we'll meet again in person real soon. So thank you.
Mr. Chairman, one last question.
Yes.
Asking me or Ethan to work with Melissa?
You.
No, I was thinking it might be better if Ethan did it because he knows what he wants in his press release. I don't mind working with Melissa whatsoever, but you know.
Why don't you give us a draft, Ethan, and we'll get it approved. If Melissa
Certainly
wouldn't
will.
mind.
Chairman, this is Melissa. I can certainly
Yes.
work on that. I can also get Rob McDonald to help me with that
Okay.
to make sure it goes out to all of the newspapers and
Okay,
where it needs to go.
That's helpful. That's very good. Will that work, Ken?
Yes.
Okay, Ethan, will that work? All right, thank
Sir.
you. Thank you, Melissa. Okay. Very good. We've come a long way. So just wanted to hit pause there and just acknowledge that in 2 days, it will be 1 year since the effective date of the compact. And we have established a board, found a home for our office, hired some staff, hired various contractors, including an accounting firm and a legal firm, and now hired an engineer. So you've come a long ways in this last year. And we've also, in the interim process, have approved so far over 200 applications.
Wow.
So we're staying busy, and I'm sure it's going to get busier as we begin to open up soon out of the interim phase into a full open phase. I think we'll have to have that conversation with Ethan and see when we're ready. I know that we're getting ready to also hire some additional water specialists, some staff that will help out with that. So very soon we hope to have that discussion. So as we get started, once Ethan is ready to start, I look forward to that, and also look forward to having some one-on-one discussion with Ethan, between Ethan and the board, so we can start to lay out some of those plans and some of those initial needs and expectations. So you've done well as a board, so thank you all very much. On to the Human Resources Committee. So is that Pela and others? So please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I can give an update on the water conservation specialist position. The board received 38 applications for that position, and we made sure that we got all of them because some were sent to the board email and some to the were received through LinkedIn. So we made sure we got all of them, and there were 38. Amy Saylor with Associated Employers, the HR firm, she did a screening of those 38 applicants, and she recommends that the hiring committee further screen 20 of those applicants and then evaluate who of those ones should be selected for phone interviews. So for next steps, and I discussed this with the technical team as well, would be that I will ask Associated Employers for some additional recommendations on the process for the hiring committee. I think we had a good process for the last hire that we worked on, but would like to get their expertise as well. And then the hiring committee would need to further screen those 20 applicants and select applicants for an interview. And then Associated Employers will set up those interviews.
Okay. So as we move forward and we're getting ready to bring on Ethan in the engineer position, we want to make sure that Ethan has the appropriate input at all of the key times. Ethan, we should talk about whether or not you need to be involved in the screening, certainly interviews, but if it's usually, and it's typical that if you're screening, they're probably not the ones involved in the interviews, but we should talk that through. And you might want to give the HR firm a call and just talk that through with them, and then try to come up with a plan for how we approach this once trying to get to the point where we have screened applicants and have them ready for interview. So if you're so inclined, that would be helpful, I think.
Mr. Chairman, I very much would like to be a part of that, probably both the screening phase and the interview phase, if I can participate.
Okay. Well, let's keep working through that, and best of luck here.
Mr.
All right,
Chairman.
Kayla, was there anything else? Yes.
Yeah, yes, there was something else. So I just wanted to confirm the board member availability for the hiring committee. For the compliance tech admin assistant, Georgia and Ken were on that hiring committee. And Roger has expressed interest in being a part of this hiring. And so I would just appreciate getting a confirmation from the board of who is available and interested for being a part of this hiring process.
I'm available. I'm interested.
So there's one.
Same here. I'm available and interested.
All right, there's two.
Yeah, the three of us talked it over at the last meeting. We all concurred that it'd be good to have the three of us participate.
Very good. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Payla, I think you're still on personnel policy update.
Yes. So last week, Georgia, Roger, Teresa, Melissa, and I had a productive meeting about the personnel policy, just had a really good discussion and also benefited from Teresa's expertise. We have incorporated many of the specific elements needed for the board's role as a government entity, and we've drawn from both state and tribal personnel policies for those additions. Teresa and we also agreed that it'd be beneficial to try to simplify the policy in several areas. And so Teresa is making some suggestions and revisions to the policy to simplify it and also just incorporate some other human resources best practices. So we're making good progress. It may be ready to share with the board and legal counsel next week, but it might maybe more likely it would be the week after that.
Okay. Once again, as we get through the drafts, as you're working through those before they go to legal, would probably want to also engage with Ethan. And I think Ethan, I just want to acknowledge that in Ethan's response, he had also actually proposed some policy topics there. And I did forward those on to the full board. So if you should have those for your consideration. So.
Mr. Chairman, I think I'm on that subcommittee too.
Okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
sorry, I had the wrong name written down.
It's okay.
I should have had Ken, not Roger. Sorry about
Okay.
that.
It's okay.
A little mixed up today. I also wanted to ask if other board members on the committee, Georgia and Ken and Teresa, wanted to add or clarify anything I said there.
I would just like to add that, you know, Payla's put a lot of work into this, a lot of work, as has Amy, and that she should be thanked. A lot of work and a lot of common sense.
Agreed.
Very good. All right, Payla, anything else on that?
Nope.
Anything else from the board members on that?
No.
All right, well, thank you. Office of Engineer Operations, moving on to that. Christy, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Mr. Chairman. For operations, the office has been running a little bit more smoothly since I'm finally catching on. Anna hasn't been as available due to school hours. We've been working as much as we can to coordinate. I've also been reviewing benefit plans for us to have the committee review, and we should be having a committee meeting, I believe tomorrow, but I don't set up as of right now. Public has been coming in a lot to pick up applications and also calling to ask questions in regard to their applications or the process. Other than that, everything's been good. Thank you.
Do we need to confirm people who will be participating in your committee?
Yes.
Or do we already have that?
We do have that, I believe, right of now it's me, you, Roger, Georgia, and Payla. But I don't think she's gonna be involved in the actual meeting.
Okay. And are we, where are we at with the date? Are we looking at tomorrow?
We are looking at tomorrow, and I believe time is 9:30. Immediately after Georgia's, for Georgia's availability, and also to meet Roger's availability. I did send out an email, but I haven't sent out an invite yet.
Okay, Georgia, Roger, you guys good with that?
Yes.
Yeah, we have our website kickoff meeting at 8 o'clock, so 9:30 would be fine.
Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.
So confirm date to start using Flathead Reservation Water Management Board email. Payla.
All right, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I'm back. I wanted to check in with all of you about the board email addresses. This is the FRWMB.org emails. The tech team recommends that the board members use these emails instead of personal ones. And I sent instructions to each of you who isn't already using one with contact info from a CSKT IT person if you need help. And so if the board agrees to use these board emails in full going forward, it would be helpful for staff and also for record keeping purposes to commit to a specific date when the board would, switch over exclusively to these board emails. So I wanted to bring that up and confirm that the board would like to start using those and decide on a date when that would work for folks.
Okay, I will suggest this. I'll see if board members first have any comments or questions about that.
I have my email set up, so I'm ready to go as soon as possible with it.
I'm using it now. I have the other one that I had set up for the board. I'm trying to use this a formal one, official one.
So I guess apparently I'm the only one that's not using it, so I will start using it. But I will start, I try to make Sunday my office day. I will do it Sunday, so I'll be up and running and hopefully on Monday, the 19th.
Ken, you're not the only one that's not using it.
No.
So what I was going to suggest, if there's any comments or questions, that we sort of cover those today, and then we just each of you who need to have help with that, get it, and then you know, maybe at the next meeting we can actually finalize a date. Not putting anybody on the spot today.
I did try the instructions Kayla provided. I was unsuccessful with that, and I tried to get a hold of the CPT, and they told me to do the help desk or something. So I'm waiting to hear back from them.
Okay.
So question, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'm wondering whether Amy should be using it if she's not already. I mean, she's not a voting member, she's still a member of the board.
Amy, are you there? So I think we can have an official one for Amy. And I'm gonna just hit pause real quick because I did see a couple hands. And I apologize to Joel. I think he's been up for a few minutes, but I'll go to Melissa first.
I was just gonna say, we did not create a separate email for Amy Kaufman. If you recall, Amy Kaufman is only gonna be the superintendent for, I think, the rest of this month, and it'll be changing to a new person.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
And so we did not create a email for her, and I'm not sure that whoever that person is going to be would be able to use the board email as opposed to their official federal email,
Federal email,
because
yeah.
they are a representative of the federal government on the board.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, very good. So, Amy.
Sorry, my apologies on that. I had an interruption there. So the next person coming in is going to be Craig M. Adams. And we've already talked about his role on the board. And he would be fine to, yeah, continue on with the BIA.org email, being a representative. So just let me know when you guys want to start looping him in more. He's ready to go.
If you want to get us his email address, we can start doing that anytime you're ready. That's kind of up to you. Now, where is he located?
He's located in Phoenix. He'll be starting his position with us October 9th. He'll be up here. So he can work remotely with you guys, or he'll just jump in after I go.
I think the board is ready to work with whoever, whenever. So from your standpoint, whatever time frame you're ready to make the transition, and we can include you both for the next meeting or two if that helps. So either way.
Okay. Thank you.
Just get us the email. So, all right, thank you. So still hitting pause here. Joel Harris, you have had your hand up. I apologize.
Hello, I was not aware that I had my hand up. Does it show on your end?
It does.
Oh, well, that was unintentional. I apologize. All
No
good
problem.
here.
No problem. All right, very good. So anything else on that, Payla? Are we good with that for now?
That's good.
Okay. So we'll keep moving toward that and see where we're at by next meeting. And I think we should be by next meeting have all migrated. When we're all ready, we'll just pull the trigger. Okay, I have a funding request for tables and chairs. Christie.
Mr. Chairman, I did look up some tables and was discussing with Ethan that we were in need of. Right now, we would like to purchase 6 5-foot folding tables. The cost will be $300 for the 6 tables. And then I also have a quote for 20 chairs for the board meetings. And they'll be stacking chairs and padded. And the cost of those is going to be $1,280. So I'm requesting funding for a total of $1,580 to purchase the chairs and the tables.
Well, I think as we move along, all expenses, I think just recognizing we don't have a fleshed out budget yet, we'll always be asking the question, do we have the money? So I'll just look to you and Ethan and Melissa to help confirm for the board for now if we're good to go. If we are, we can take action on that.
Thank you.
So are we good to go budget wise? Yes.
Chairman, this is Melissa. I
Yes.
think you're good for the $1,500 for right now.
I would hope so at that amount, but thank you. Just to verify that. So do we have interest by the board in doing this? If so, does somebody want to make a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would make a motion that we proceed with the acquisitions as described by Christie.
Motion by Teresa.
Second.
Mr. Chairman,
Second by Georgia. Comments. So Ken, comment?
you skip public comment on this funding request.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the table, so I'll hit pause and take public comment. Do we have any public to comment?
We still have 2 online, however, neither have raised their hands or have made any comment.
Okay, so let's just announce to them that public will take comment if they have any. Give it a minute.
Nobody's raised their hands.
Okay, we had a motion and a second. No comments at this time. So all in favor of the acquisition, say aye.
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 And any opposed? None opposed. I think we're good. Thank you, Christie.
Thank you.
Okay, that gets us to interim domestic allowance MOU expiration 9/30. Melissa.
Thank you, Chairman. I just wanted to bring to the attention of the board that the interim process MOU, so the agreement between the state, the tribes, and the board for the interim process for domestic allowances actually expires at the end of September. Because we didn't know, I didn't know if you were going to have a water engineer. And I don't know exactly when the water engineer is going to start. If we needed to start talking about extending that for another 30 days, or at least a a period of time so that there's not a gap in providing those services. And so I just wanted to put it on everyone's radar and find out whether or not we needed to negotiate that. Sounds like we still don't know what the exact start date is going to be. So I will work with probably Ethan and Arnie Wick on the state side and make sure that we extend that MOU for whatever period of time we need to ensure that there's no gap between when the engineer starts and when we still need to do the domestic allowance review. So I just wanted to put that on the board's radar, and I anticipate coming back to the board with an amendment that would just be extending the expiration of that MOU, probably 30 days at the next board meeting.
I think that sounds appropriate. Appreciate your work on that, and we'll know after today. I hope Ethan will let us know when he wants to propose to start here. So I'm assuming at least a couple weeks. Any questions or comments by the board members?
No.
Okay. Hearing none. Domestic allowance applications. Christy, I don't have the list in front of me. Did the list go out, or do we have a list we can read off? Where are we at?
I emailed a list, but it was not very long after 3 o'clock, and didn't realize it didn't go out to the board until close to 3:30. But there should be one in your email.
If you have it electronically, is it something we can put up?
I'm actually using a separate computer and logged in as a CSKT user, and so I don't actually have the ability to bring up the document.
Clayton, I've got it up on my screen, but I can make a motion to ratify the 11 applications for domestic allowance.
Okay, if you want to make that motion, do you want to read the names?
Yes, I will. The names include, or the applicants include Brand, Bird, Bear, / Dome, Joint Revocable Trust, Merchant, Smith, Blair, Sagra, Jobs, Cotton, Dolzell.
Did you include Bell?
Yes, Bell was the very first one.
Okay. I'll second.
All right, motion by Roger to approve the 11 domestic allowance applications as recommended by the staff.
Second.
Second by Ken. So all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, any opposed? Hearing none, we're approved. Thank you for that. Board member updates. So the only thing not necessarily an update, but I think Christy, or Pela, you were working on getting board members and or staff set up to attend the water conference in Helena. So any update on that?
I actually have been working on getting the 3 that are attending the law seminar for October 5th and 6th. I do have you registered and also have hotel set up. Also have one issue with that I do need to discuss afterwards. However, I do plan on sending out a travel itinerary with the confirmation numbers for those that will be attending.
Okay. I appreciate that. So who are the 3 attending? I know I'm going, so who else?
Yourself, Ken, and Roger.
Okay. All right, and I think Melissa, you're going, but you're going as the tribal, on the tribal side.
That's correct. I will be there.
Okay. All right. Well, given the time frame of the dates, is that something, Ethan, you might be able to attend?
I can take a look at the dates, Mr. Chairman, and
All right, be helpful.
Yep.
Be nice to be able to introduce some people there while there are the board members and any staff who can attend. All right, thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm not sure who I sent the PowerPoint to. I think Ken, did I send you the PowerPoint? Ken or Melissa, I did a PowerPoint that I sent off to them. I have notes. I don't have a paper, so I'll be working off notes to make the presentation. So I'll sometime soon I'll send that PowerPoint out to the full board members so you all have that. And as we get closer, I'll send you my notes so you have an idea where I'm at. I've still got a few things I'm working on there. So that's where I'm at with it. Any other board member updates? Okay. Haley and John, welcome. Thank you for sitting in. Anything from the legal team?
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and board members. Just to provide a quick update on our end, we have been in the process of creating some formal memos for the board's use regarding open meetings and how that applies to the board's authority, appropriations in general, and then with the context of indemnification for the board. And then also a more overarching board jurisdiction and authority memo. Those will be for the board's use shortly. We're in the review stage of the open meetings memo. So that should be out the door here soon for your review. We have taken a look at the first call website contract and reviewed that for the board as well. I believe I emailed Melissa our thoughts this morning. Everything looks okay on our end with that review. We are also in the process of drafting some sort of artist release or certification agreement for the board's logo. That is also in the review stage and shall be for the board's review shortly. I would like to connect with Ethan now that he is in his official position as the engineer. So congratulations, Ethan. I will circle back to you on getting some sort of process established between your position and our positions as well with the board.
Thank you, Haley. Haley, did we touch base with you yet on maybe Melissa can address this as well, on a board operating policy or bylaws, whatever we're going to call it?
Yes, we did discuss that briefly. If it is the board's decision to move forward with that, then we are happy to start moving forward with that.
Melissa, any input there?
Yes, I think formal bylaws and operating rules would be good for the board to adopt along with the fiscal procurement policy that we have discussed as well.
Okay, so if any comments or questions by board members, I'd like to at least get a consensus that we're good to have them start on the a board policy.
I'm on with that. That's a good idea.
I support it.
I do as well.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Very good. And Haley, if you think you need action on that at some point, let us know. I'm sure we'll need action to approve it. So getting to the point where we have that is good. And then at some point, I had suggested, I know you've got other priorities working, but And I think the personnel policies are going to be coming your way. But I had mentioned that it'd be important to start taking a look at that ordinance, of course, and taking a look at those potential policy items we had from those decisions we've made so far. And I know that's probably going to take some time, but I'm assuming you have that as well.
Yes, we do. That is a ongoing task for us, and as we maneuver through the compact and through the ordinance as well.
All right, very good. Thank you. And will your firm be at that water conference?
We will, and I finally got my camera to work, so here's
Oh,
a
hi.
face to the name. Yes, John and myself will both be attending the water conference here in Helena. It would be great to meet everyone in person and get working.
Very good. And with your permission, I'll try not to embarrass you too much while we're there, but I'll point you out. So,
No
everybody who's
problem
there.
on my end.
All right. All right, thank you. Thank you. So anything else from board members?
No.
All right, next possible meeting then is, did I hear something? Just hearing background noise, I guess. The next possible meeting is September 29. Does that look right for everybody?
Yes.
So I'm looking at on the agenda here, it says September 29. So are we skipping the 22nd?
I guess I would ask Christy and Ethan if we should be skipping the 22nd. What's
I see it's on here. So is there a reason we didn't include the 22nd? So Ayla, yeah, your hand is up. Go ahead.
Yeah, the tech team discussed this, and our recommendation is for the board to meet every other week, in part because we don't need to meet weekly for the applications at this time. That may change, but at this time we don't. And there's a significant amount of committee work, and it's hard to schedule. We've had a hard time scheduling meetings for that committee work due to availability. And we recognize you all are putting in a lot of work for the board in addition to all your other work that you do outside of the board. And so our suggestion would be every other week, and then on the intervening Thursday afternoons, make those available for committee meetings.
Board members, comments, suggestions, and Ethan, what are your thoughts on that?
Mr. Chairman, board members, I do know that next week there's some availability issues with myself and Seth Makepeace. We do believe that we're all caught up on applications. So from the process that we've got going forward with these interim applications, there's not really a need for us to get together next week. And so we should have everything handled on that front, not missing any timelines, so long as we can commit to the 29th as a meeting date.
Board members.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm hearing consensus for that. And I think we're always in a position where I'd like to see us meet in person if we can. So when we do meet every other week, it'd be good to meet in person. But in the interim, should there be something urgent come up, I would hope the staff would notify us. And if we need to pull off a meeting sooner than later, then we can do that. Just acknowledging that we need to have enough time to send out public notice, unless it happens to be an emergency meeting. And how we do those will certainly be emergency meetings that is hopefully spelled out in our operating plan in the future. So, all right, we'll be looking at the next regular meeting then on the 29th And if we meet every other week, then after that, that leaves the 6th open, which is the date of that conference anyway. So that's good timing. So, and I think that it's actually a good sign. We pushed hard to get to this point. So hopefully we can get Ethan on board and working. I mean, he's already working, but on board full time with us. And we pushed hard to get to this point. And I think it's a good sign, and that things are working smoothly enough that we can drop back to meeting every other week. But for Ethan and staff and Haley and John, we're here. If you need something, feel free to email me, email the board. So if we need to address something, we can do that. So any other comments by board?
Mr. Chair, for the meeting on the 29th, are we moving back to 2 o'clock for the time that we meet?
Well, I suggest we do. So what do you want? What's the board want? I suggest we do, yes.
That works fine for me. I was just making sure.
Yeah, I think we were doing 3:30 today to meet some other, to meet everyone's schedules, and that seemed to have worked out. So unless there's an objection by board members, we'll go back to the 2 o'clock. Yeah, good point. Anything else?
Did we skip public comment? General public comment?
I probably did. So I guess we're still not adjourned, so we can take public comment. Is there anybody online of the public who would like to comment? Please raise your hand and we'll take your public comment. Thank you for reminding me.
Nobody's raised their hand at this time.
All right. Well, then thank you, Haley, and thank you, John, for sitting in on this. Awful quiet there, but thank you.
I'm just listening.
All right. Very good. All right, with that, no more comments. We will adjourn today's meeting. Thank you all very much for all your work. Congratulations, Ethan. Look forward to hearing from you very soon. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.